I'm so sorry, guys. It has been a long period of time before I upload the next video, but guys, I've been busy up and down here and there doing some other farm work. So in today's video, I have been with this topic for over like 2 weeks. I wanted to talk about this topic for over like a period of 2 weeks, but I've been up and down as I've told you, and I wouldn't be in position to do this video. So that's why I've even made it here in the car. I've parked somewhere and I'm waiting for something. As I wait for what I'm waiting for, I saw it necessary for me to talk about this topic, guys, and this is about how colonialism or how neocolonialism, or I call it colonialism hangover in specifically Africa, has affected the mindset of our youth or of our fellow Africans, to the extent that it has affected the agriculture or farming sector. Hello my people, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Hanimi's World. Welcome to the channel that inspires you to do business in agriculture. If you are interested in such vlogs, please consider to subscribe down below. Hit that bell so that you are notified by YouTube whenever I upload more videos. I was saying I wanted to talk about colonialism, how it has affected the way people think about the farming sector, or the way the mindset of people, and at the end of that day, that mindset has really affected us as Africans, guys. So during the colonial seasons, or during those times of colonialism, these colonial masters put emphasis in Africa as a country. Even right now, they also have other means and measures like foreign aid that will keep Africa being the continent where their raw materials come from. So during the colonial period of time, these colonial masters made sure that Africa is where cotton comes from, sugar canes, tea, coffee, name it, those cash crops. Yes, and that's why they had to make those railways that they could connect to the borders, and they could get the cash crops from here in Africa to their countries. And they deliberately also set the education system that most African countries are still following up to date, that education system should aim at creating people that are focused at looking for white collar jobs, for those jobs that they would be that they could be administrators in working their companies. So at the end of the day, these things still even exist up to now under the neocolonialism, or as I call it, as I've told you, I call it colonialism hangover. So during that period of time, even right now, they made it sure that everything white, everything foreign, everything that comes from those colonial masters, be it French, be it the British, or be it the what? Yes, is it the British? Yes. Be it the Germany, name those countries, is the best. Things to do with African is not good. So we have that mindset as Africans that everything white, everything brought by those whites is the best, which is wrong, guys. So at the end of the day, we, even our parents, know it, that if you educate your kid and the kid turns up to just be like a farmer growing food, that kid is a failure. If you read your books, you must go and look for a job and put on that white suit or that white shirt or that suit of yours as a lady. Every morning you go and drive to your workplace and give those services as your profession. Then you come back to what? You come back at home and get your salary at the end of the day. That, I call it as a colonialism setup, guys. It is a setup that was deliberately made by our colonial master to think that being a farmer, most especially producing food, because look at the crops that they were growing. They weren't growing these food crops that help in the food security, guys. You know how food security is very important in a country. Without food security, we we have lots of diseases. You treat your diseases starting from your plate. Lots of diseases are prevented and they're cured from your plate. So food security is very, very, very important. So they had to show you that you only have to grow cash crops like coffee, like cotton, like cocoa, like name all the cash crops, so that you could fulfill the raw material needs of their countries or in their real countries out there. So leading to Africans forgetting to grow those ones, the few that would remain in the agriculture sector refused, like concentrated a lot on only cash crops. It is later, after days, that now our leaders are putting emphasis that you have to grow crops, that have to feed the nations, not only to feed your home as subsistence, but even these crops that feed us like food crops are, you can also get money in them. So when time has passed, now people are still picking slowly by slowly, but remember also the other mindset of that they brought, and they bring it through education when they are educating you, that one with the nice English, that one who can twist your tongue like that person, like the whites. You are the one that that they always praise. If you don't know how to speak English, then they always laugh at you. If you don't know how to speak French or Germany, you were a loser. There is that thing that they impact in you. So these our African kids grow up like feeling that they are white people in a black skin, feeling like they want to do everything like a white person, yet they are doing it in an African setting and in their black skin. So we look so funny, guys. And that's why when you tell someone you're a farmer, they will say, how can you be a farmer? They say that, Oba, you were what? You were like a failure. But remember, I always tell you here on my channel that Africa, the only diamond, the only oil, and the only gold, anything, name it, anything precious that we have is farming. And COVID-19 really showed us that we have the power in farming and the power in feeding. We cannot undermine the power of feeding nations. You saw even those nations that call them that call themselves the great nations. You saw them crying when the supermarkets were drying, and they couldn't even put food in that could feed their nations in the supermarkets. And for us in African setting, for us in the village, we were in the village during COVID, and COVID was the COVID system. COVID period was a normal period for the farmers. They were getting their food. They were doing their activities as normal. Nothing even really affected them, apart from maybe treating themselves and prevention measures that they were putting in place. So the point is making you feeling like you an African in your black skin. You have to talk like a white, you have to behave like a white, you have to do everything like a white in your black skin is a very bad mindset. That's why you call farmers poor. That's why you call farming like a low down tone. And that's why I call farming a very secret and silent way of making money. That's why even they're just bringing taxes on farmers. You are in my country. I read it after doing the other video that it has introduced even taxes to farmers. It is realizing that farmers are there as you think they are poor. They are there making silent millions and billions of money. Now they are beginning to put different taxes to them, you see. So the moment you Africans wake up and know that you are Africans and stop even thinking and behaving like those guys, they're better. And that's a mindset is the cause of some, not all of them, some Africans thinking that their fresh waters are abroad. You can see someone spending more than even $10,000, more than even $5,000, working on the papers, but they want to go to get fresh waters. Yet when you invest that money and start and do research in farming, it can do lots and lots of profits in farming. You see, guys. So most of the youths are going out there in the pretense of sinking for fresher waters, yet they have left a lot of untouched projects that can bring in money here in their countries, guys. So that mindset of us Africans thinking that we have to behave like the whites is very bad, guys. And also that mindset of us living out the positive cultural tendencies of us is also bad, thinking that we shall always go whatsoever foreigner that comes in our country, we shall all bump into their cultures and what take on their cultures. It's bad, and that is one of the reasons that has led to the underdevelopment of Africa. Because look at the Singapore, those countries like Singapore, Japan, that have made it, even China, they have made it by retaining their positive, not all practices, but their positive cultural practices. And from that musingi, or from that foundation, they have rose and have become superpowers at a very fast speed. Remember, at one point, Singapore was a third world country, even poorer than my country, Uganda. But the way it has risen, it is because one of the reasons is it has maintained, it has known who they are. Africans, we don't know who we are. That is the problem. You are there, you don't even know who you are. You are there, even in the bar, pretending to speak good English, meaning overlooking those farmers in your villages, and they are always looking at you like this. They look at you like this. Look at these youths, they don't know even what they are talking about. So you continue thinking that you are a white guy in your black skin. You continue suffering the way Africans are suffering. And now slavery has come up in another way. These things of going in the Arab countries, going in those developed countries, thinking context, thinking you are going for fresher pastures. Yes, people have succeeded, but it is another form of slavery coming because of the message we have. You can't spend all those millions of money going there. It's not cheap. Just going there. Yet you cannot. Yet here farmers are complaining they cannot even supply goats because the number of goats that we produce is far, far, far below, depending on the demand of the goats. Farmers cannot even produce food for the whole country and also export. You see, there's a very big gap, guys. So we have to change our mindset, guys. Let's change our mindset and improve on our incomes, guys. So thank you for watching Her Name is World. Remember to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when I upload more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.